Hi, this is Paul Sackis, Good News Planet. I'm speaking to a gentleman who I've already had a great conversation with, Ramsay Adams. Hello, Ramsay. How are you?
Great, Paul. How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're going to talk about an upcoming event on December 7th. And Ramsay, what's your involvement with it?
I'm the founder of the Catskill Mountainkeeper, which is a regional advocacy environmental organization based in the Catskill region of upstate New York. And our mission is to promote and protect the greater Catskills. And one of the things that we do is we educate our friends and constituents on various environmental issues. And this particular event that we're talking about today is the one I'm most excited about. It's about climate change and Buddhism and the nexus between Buddhist activism and climate change from the renowned Buddhist philosopher, thinker, and activist Robert Thurman.
Fantastic.
And Catskill Mountainkeeper is the host and sponsor of the event, and it's a dinner, and it's in Saugerties, and I just think it'll be one of the most special nights. It'll be inspirational and educational and funny, because Robert Thurman's a very funny guy. So I'm really glad we're honored to have been able to get Robert to agree to do it. And it's part of the Climate Reality Project speaking tour, which is the project of Vice President Al Gore and the Inconvenient Truth. It's part of their strategy coming out of that, Academy Award-winning, eye-opening documentary so many years ago, was that the science changes and evolves, and the narrative changes and evolves, and that the key to keeping the populace informed is to train speakers to bring that news, the message, the science to the public. And so the Climate Reality Project, has a speaker training program that you graduate from, and it's got some of the world-renowned thinkers and academics and professionals, corporate leaders, and artists and musicians that take the training and then take it out for free, usually to the public. And so that's what this is, and each one of those people, the speakers, put their own narrative into it. So we'll get Robert Thurman's version of the Climate Reality Project speaking tour. So it'll just be so cool. I'm so excited.
You can't do better than Robert Thurman. And our audience knows him because I've interviewed him at Dr. Kazuko's birthday party for the Dalai Lama here in New York. I've interviewed him. I don't know. He allowed me to sit in the Dalai Lama's chair at the Tibet House. I don't know what happened after that. And because he's a fooler, he's a kidder, and it's a professor, the kind of guy that Columbia loves to have because students are bored. And he's not that guy. He's a guy who's a great author. He's so smart. He's so on top of the goodness of what we have and how to even make it better. So
that's right. And I'm really excited. I actually attended high school with his daughter Uma Thurman, who went on to left the high school early to go to Hollywood to become one of the greatest all-time female actors, ever. I don't even need to say more than Uma Thurman.
I'll second it.
Just it's a family of just incredible talent. So, although I think I stared off at her and thought how cool that person was. I didn't know her, but she was at the school with me, and so I'm just so impressed with the whole family and Robert and his wife, and so thank you for having me on this show, and I'm really honored to be able to invite people to come. You go to the CatskillMountainkeeper.org website. Just search Mountain Keeper in Google, which is what everybody always does now, or Bing, I guess, or whatever search engine you use, and it'll be right there. You can buy tickets, and it's on a beautiful farm in Saugerties, in a barn that's been renovated. It's going to be delicious food, delicious libations, wonderful music, and then, of course, Robert Thurman's talk on climate.
There you go. Let me ask. I'll ask a couple of questions, just to hopefully enhance and give people their little more knowledge. Sarah Johnson, Greg Cornell. Who are they?
They are members of the Catskill Mountainkeeper greater, group. They are supporters and advocates and keepers. I call so the people who support Mountainkeeper are keepers, and they have a barn, a farm, and a renovated barn in the town of Saugerties, and they are incredible environmental activists. They brought to my attention a construction and debris dumping operation that was happening in the town of Saugerties, just outside of Woodstock in Ulster County, where thousands of trucks a week are coming and dumping contaminated soil all throughout Ulster County on sites, on properties that are owned, and then deals are made, and so they're bringing in illegal contaminated construction debris from Queens and Brooklyn, the greater Manhattan area, and bringing it up and illegally dumping this, like thousands and thousands of dump truck loads of this stuff without the proper permitting, and it's completely gangster, and they caught wind of it. It's happening on a neighbor's property, and so Mountainkeeper's been involved in now almost a 10-month investigation and campaign to get the Department of Environmental Conservation and the New York State Police and the county and town police and the judges to stop this and to get to the bottom of what's really going on, because we believe it's a much larger issue that's happening in a lot of other places around New York State. And, to put it in context, a dump truckload of contaminated construction and demolition debris, if you took it to a proper facility that can handle that, it costs between $10,000 and $25,000 to get rid of that. And so, if you can dump this stuff without having to pay the fees to the facilities that handle it, you just saved yourself a ton of money. Times that by thousands, it's a huge amount of money. So it's this incredible. And so Greg and Sarah, came to me with this issue, and it's turned into what I think is an incredible. It builds on the pay dirt scandal, which you all know about, where the same kinds of issues are happening out in Long Island, and a lot of people went to jail, and the FBI got involved in that. So we're looking at some of this, we believe, a similar kind of issue here in the Catskills. But Sarah and Greg are incredible, wonderful neighbors and friends. Sarah does a lot of work in the film business, and Greg is an incredible musician, and he's got a band with his brothers, the Cornell brothers. Some of them are brothers, some are other folks. And so they're just great artists and friends and creators and producers. And like I said, they've donated this beautiful place for this event.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, well,
a lot to unpack there, huh?
This whole event's a lot to unpack, and for our audience, who are very familiar. We just finished, I mentioned to you before we started recording, our movie called Woodstock Forever, Peace, Love, and Hope, that we did. We started in 1989 with Richie Havens.
Amazing.
A group coming down actually from Bethel. And then we've added very well-known people talking about peace, love, and hope. A lot of the peace messengers at the UN and so on and so forth. So we have a lot in common, and this whole outreach, and love to continue and work with you in what you're doing. As you can hear, everybody, this is real talk. He's saying here. Ramsay is talking about as an example of what you guys are doing with that. The bad stuff and trying to be wise about it. That's what we all need, right? We need to be conscious of our environment so we can continue to have the beautiful Mother Earth in a nice way by far. So, and Robert is the master of talking about that and knowing about that and that whole family. So. It's a great opportunity. Saugerties is gorgeous up that way. Woodstock is gorgeous. You find a little B&B if you're coming from another area, right? And it's just so gorgeous. So, Ramsay, best of luck. Give us the website again, and then I'm going to ask you two more questions.
Sure. Yeah. So it's CatskillMountainkeeper.org, CatskillMountainkeeper.org. And again, if you just Google Mountain Keeper, you'll find us, and the homepage, and if you want to write down a phone number, you can call our office. It's 845-439-1230.
Okay, beautiful. Let me ask you a last question. Well, you asked lots of people what does peace mean to them, peace or love or hope. Let me ask you, Ramsay Adams, what is peace for you?
Well, it's a beautiful question because it without being you didn't give me a chance to come up with an answer before, so you dropped this one right on me without any preparation, which is even better.
Is it okay? Good.
Yeah, no, it's better. It's great. So I've got two things come to mind. One is I live in Livingston Manor in the Catskill Park. It's the western Catskills, and I live very close to the Bethel, to Yasgur's farm, where Woodstock '69 happened, and there's a museum and a concert venue there now, and in a lot of ways. It galvanized the idea of peace and love, like you talked about in your movie, and so there is this energy that exists here in the Catskills of peace and love that resonates. It stayed here and became part of the culture and the energy that exists in this part of the Catskills. So. And, there's peace doves. They made 50 peace doves, fiberglass doves that are around the county here in Ulster and Sullivan County, and each one has different art on it, and it's beautiful, and you can go tour the 50 peace doves. The community sort of embraced the idea of peace, and so there's that part, which is something that you can't, it's tangible in the sense that there's actual 55 fiberglass doves that you can look at and think about what that means, peace and peace doves, but it's also that sort of, idea of peace that you get when you come here and think about what it was like to be at Woodstock and what it was like to have over 500,000 people together in a confined space for, at least 3 days and have nothing but peace. That sort of never happened ever in the history of humankind. Have you gotten that many people together in a confined space and have it be peaceful completely? But then I also just, today is Wednesday, and our brothers and sisters are in Hong Kong at a college, a Polytechnic Institute, holed up, about to be arrested and sent off to God knows where in China for wanting just the basic rights that we all respect. And Hong Kong has been going through over 6 months of a uprising, of a people's revolution in the streets, and it's it's violent in the sense that there are these clashes between the Chinese authorities and the protesters, the Hong Kong students and others in the streets of Hong Kong, demanding the rights that they were promised when England handed over Hong Kong to China. But at the root of that movement, which is happening today, is this idea of peace and freedom. And so, I can't help but feel for the folks that live who are from Hong Kong or are native to Hong Kong, and they've seen their authorities, the authorities that oversee the government of that place, transfer hands, and what they want is the basic rights, freedom, and peace, and not the fear of a government that is authoritarian over them. And I really, it's today. That's what I think about with peace. I feel blessed that there's peace here, where I live in New York, in the Catskill Park, but the United States is not involved globally in peace. We are at war or at conflict in a number of places, and that's complicated but troubling. So I feel lucky and blessed on one hand, and really sad and fearful on the other.
Okay. Ramsay, I appreciate you sharing your inner feelings. Actually, we start our movie off with Richie Havens singing Freedom, of which he sang in 1969 to start the Woodstock event.
Amazing.
I'm going to just end with one more thing, because it's the Woodstock thing that means a lot to me, and I've made a quote on this many times. Many years ago, I'd say in the 60s or whatever, even before Woodstock, we went to Woodstock, the town of Woodstock, that area all over there, and I fell in love with it, having grown up in Tarrytown. And actually, my upbringing is the Catskills. I went to all those Jewish hotels up there, and it just was fun, so much fun. So the Catskills to me is nothing but has always been a place for world peace, has always been a place for good life and happiness. That's why people would go there, to get away and to just enjoy life. So I have only fond memories of the Catskills and continue to. But in the town of Woodstock, there was a gentleman, I don't know how long, maybe you knew him, the Rainbow Man. And I like the Rainbow Man, and I have right in front of my nose at this moment a poster of the Rainbow Man saying, "When you get to the top of the hill, keep climbing." So I wanted to say that to you, because I see the Catskill Mountainkeeper organization, the benefit dinner, the Robert Thurmans, your nice hosts, Sarah and Greg, and the whole event is all built around keep climbing, let's learn more, let's work together and do good. So I'm excited. I'm going to be coming up there, and I hope our audience joins us. So thank you very much, Ramsay. I appreciate you taking all this time with me.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for listening.
Okay, take care. Speak to you soon.